Hi guys, Jay here again. I'm going to offer you some recommendations and some modifications for ways in which we might adapt our CrossFit linchpin workouts for kids. We're going to take a closer look at Tuesday the 7th of December's workout. We have a couplet, kind of like a chipper style couplet. We've got run 1000 meters, 30 GHD sit-ups, run 800 meters, 30 GHD sit-ups, run 600 meters, 30 GHD sit-ups, run 400 meters, 30 GHD sit-ups. Now, my first consideration when I was adapting this workout for my children, and I'll talk about their experience and my experience of them doing this workout shortly. They've just finished it. Now, one of the things that I always look to do is keep the themes of the workouts, of the CrossFit linchpin workouts. Now, that's because I envisage the people that are watching these videos are members of the linchpin community. They are probably working out in their garage, hopefully a lot with their families alongside them. So I like to keep the themes as close as possible, the idea that you're working out together as a family. That said, my consideration this was, running and sit-ups. Would children find enjoyment from doing this workout? So I thought deeply about it, and my consideration was, well, let's keep them moving. Let's keep them moving in a space rather than static. And let's look for a similar stimulus, something that's going to strengthen the midline, but not in the same way with the GHD sit-up. So I've chosen a roving plank, and the advanced children are going to do run 800 meters. Now, when I program the 800 meters, I have in mind what my son can do. My son's 10 years old. He's been doing CrossFit for a number of years. And he's really, he's almost ready to kick on to that sort of next level of intensity compared to my daughter, who's a bit younger. So he did 800 meters, 25 meter roving planks. We did 5 meters on a 5 meter shuttle. So 5 back, 5 out, 5 times. 600 meter run, 20 meter roving plank, so 4 shuttles of 5 meters, 400 meters, 15 meters roving plank, 3 shuttles, 200 meters, and then to finish off a 10 meter roving plank, so 5 meters there, 5 meters back. This was a great workout for him. The intensity was absolutely right. The run was a challenge. The number of reps and the number of lengths roving plank was just about right. Towards the end, it was becoming a challenge, but not so much that his form was degrading. So this was really appropriate for him, and you'll see from his video how we got on with that. My daughter, almost 3 years younger than my son, she did 400 meter run, and then the same length for roving plank for each of those, so 25, 20, 15, 10. But she did half the amount for run, so 400, 300, 200, and then a 100 meter run to finish off. The run for my daughter, who's about 7 again, has been doing CrossFit for a number of years, but just hasn't been exposed to the amount of running my son has, so she doesn't quite have the same capacity he does. This was a really appropriate amount of running for her. It challenged her, but it didn't exhaust her. And the roving plank was the right amount for her. Now, one thing I found with my daughter, she kept starting to pike. So possibly I could have shortened the amount of reps that she did. So she could have done maybe 20, 15, 10, 5 meters. But I didn't. I kept it as it was, and I just focused in on those. I gave her some cues. I said, keep your bum down. I said, straighten your legs, which was a cue that worked really nicely for her. She took her feet backwards, and also keep your belly a bit closer to the ground. Was a nice one. Be careful they don't sag in the middle with that cue there. But that was a really appropriate workout for her as well. Challenged her, but didn't overexhaust her. The no equipment guys, you're going to be choosing one of the options above. If they're more advanced, go for the more advanced option. Less experienced, obviously, go for the less experienced option. I've got some alternative options here for you that you might consider with your children, or depending on the space you have. My children run out on the road, and it's, I always consider, should I just have them doing shuttle runs? but I run with them. I take them out, and they don't run on the road, but on a sort of pavement next to the road. So I do consider the shuttle runs quite often when I'm programming runs for them. So you can have shuttle runs in there. You can have a row on the row if they're ready to row. You can put them on the bike, a static bike if they're tall enough, or get them to do the distance on their bicycle, or even on their scooter. If they're a younger child, or maybe even if they're an older child and they might want to do that, maybe give them the choice that we spoke about a few weeks ago. One thing I'd say, based on my experience, my daughter did I put her on the rower just for some fun yesterday, and she loved it. We spoke a little bit about the technique, and she got the technique was, getting there. She was hitting most of the points of performance. One thing I would say is that the workout lacked intensity with her. Now, I'm not talking that we should ever exhaust our children, but there should be an element of intensity there. We want our children to get out of breath. We want them to start finding it slightly hard towards the end. And with the row, my daughter didn't. She's not heavy enough. The pool didn't exhaust her enough. So that was fun for us to do, and she enjoyed doing it and learning it, but there lacked a little bit of intensity there of that workout. So do consider that with your younger children. Alternatively, you can vary up the plank variations. You can do a plank hold if you want to for a length of time, or you can do plank 360s. Now, I'll have a video showing you that plank 360, and you can do that for reps. Okay, so I would suggest 5 rotations, maybe then 4 rotations, 3 rotations, and then 2 rotations for that. Alternatively, you could go closer to the exact stimulus for our adults workout and give the children sit-ups. One thing to consider when programming sit-ups for children is just the number of reps. 120 GHD sit-ups or sit-ups for our children is far too many. So you might want to consider maybe, keeping 10 reps each round or something like that. I'm going to show you a demo video of our children doing that. You'll see them running. One thing I noticed with my son running today actually is that he's not pumping his arms quite as much as I would like. So that's something that we're going to have a look at. I'm going to have a look back at some of the pose stuff and some of the running technique stuff, and then I'm going to sort of drop that into some of his the coaching that I do with him. And I'll drop one point in at a time and say, right, today when you're running, I really want you to focus on getting your thumbs up to your chin or something like that. I'll also have a video of the plank variations for you there as well, guys. I'll talk over the demo video, saying some of the things I noticed, and see if you can pick those out. Have fun with these workouts, guys. So the children set off for a run, and then between each run they did a roving plank. You can see here Ava's hips are a little high. You'll see in a later video that she does lower them. She actually bends her knees, which brings her hips up. And you'll see that happen in the second video as well. You see Jonah's position is a bit more ideal in the next video. You can see Jonah maintains his hands underneath his shoulders, his legs are straighter, and his hips, shoulders and knees are relatively in a straight line throughout the movement, whereas Ava's hips were slightly piked. In the next video, she does improve. As mentioned, you can see Ava is in a better position in this video, and that was through lengthening her legs, keeping her legs straighter. Towards the end, she does start to pike a bit more as she bends her knees to help her move. But she showed improvement, so that's okay. First alternative option would be a plank hold for a period of time. Your next option is plank 360s. Now, Jonah had a bit of an issue here, keeping his belly button in the middle and turning around a point. So I gave him a cone. I said, imagine there's a pole going through your belly button and you've got to spin around the pole.